was the Jalen Brunson we got used to. That was the Jalen Brunson. That was the Jalen Brunson of old. Old, and by old, I just mean Knicks old. That performance that he put together tonight to basically just take this game away from the New Orleans Pelicans, who are desperate for a win. They have lost, I don't know, something like, 10 out of the last 12 games or something crazy like that. They, and there's a reason for it. They're decimated. No Zion, no Ingram, no Acevedo. I mean, they are missing a whole slew of guys. But what they do have are like tough defensive players. Herb Jones, who probably will be an all-defensive player. They have Trey Murphy, excellent defender as well. These guys have guys that hustle, that attack the ball, great point of attack defenders. And Herb Jones gave Brunson a nightmare in that first half. But this game was all about the second half. Jalen Brunson completely figured it out. He unlocked himself. He scored 29 points in the second half to lead the New York Knicks to their 18th victory of the season. They are now 18-10. This is beginning to look like the team that I thought they could be. Still a long way to go. Because when you face a team like this that is completely compromised offensively, you should be able to handle them. You should be able to take control of the game earlier on and just ride it all the way out. But the problem is, these are human beings, and sometimes, they step up. They threw zone at us. They double teamed Brunson constantly. They were doing full court coverage early on to try and get the ball out of Brunson's hands to slow him down, and it was working. The Knicks were down at the half, I think 49-45. But man, was that third quarter? Well, it wasn't a thing of beauty. The entire third quarter wasn't a thing of beauty. The Knicks actually ended up going down 14 points. But then at some point, Brunson started to figure out how to get good looks. He started attacking the point of attack defender, Herb Jones, immediately right away, instead of, kind of easing his way across the half court line and then waiting to see if the double team was coming. No, he started attacking early, and he got into the paint, and he started doing his, swervish dervish moves, making incredible buckets. I think he scored 13 straight points in that third quarter, and the Knicks took control. They took the lead and never give it back, and they secured their 18th win of the season. Fantastic, and it was all brought to you by the captain, Jalen Brunson. And it's apropos that it comes immediately one game after Cat has his incredible victory, his incredible, I don't want to use the word revenge, but his incredible return homecoming to Minnesota, where he had a 30-20 game and secured the win there. Tonight was Brunson. He was the one who secured this victory tonight. And I love that it showed that we have two guys that at any time when we really need someone to really step up and take control of the game, they're right there for us. Outstanding performance by Jalen Brunson tonight. The New York Knicks won 104-93. Is that correct? Yeah, that is correct. 104-93. I got highlights for you guys. We're going to break this game down. Let's go. Here we go. 104-93. Let's move forward. Jalen Brunson scored 39 points, 6 assists, 7 three-pointers made. His three-point shot tonight was lethal, and he was hunting it. That's what I loved about it. His little step back off the dribble three-pointer shot, he was hunting it. And one thing that I did like, an adjustment that Thibs and the team made in the second half, was to not have Brunson bring the ball up every time. Let Josh Hart bring it up. Let Mikal Bridges bring it up. I think even OG brought it up one time. It's good. Give him a break. This guy has so much on his shoulders, and he's the littlest starter. Give him a break. And they did it, and it worked perfectly. this was, I will say, this might be the most important game for the season so far. And I'll explain why. Because we have like one of the best starting fives in the NBA, if arguably the best starting five in the NBA. Mikal Bridges, I mean, this is a guy who averaged 26-something points a game as the number one guy for the Brooklyn Nets. We have Cat, who is, phenomenal. He's an All-NBA player. He was Rookie of the Year. He's been a multiple All-Star. The guy is probably the best shooting big man in the game as well. We have a lot of people, and then we have OG Anunoby, who is probably the best two-way player at this point, or making an argument for being one of the best two-way players in the NBA. So we have a lot of that. But this man right here, he is absolutely the key to us being able to go much further. If Jalen Brunson can figure out how to deal with teams that decide to put larger, really high-quality defenders on him, nothing's going to stop this team. And tonight, which is why I say this might be the most important game of the year, because Herb Jones is one of the 5 best defenders, point-of-attack defenders in the NBA. There's no doubt about that. And Brunson ended up cooking him in the second half. 29 points he delivered. And it completely changed the entire complexion of the game for the Knicks, for everybody. And he was able to take control. I love the way he responded. I love his adjustments. I love his toughness. There was a stretch there where he got into the paint. He got into the paint twice in a row, and he made like these really tough little buckets. Like, I mean, the guy, I don't even know how he does it sometimes. And then he hit a big three-pointer, I believe, from the right corner. Then continue it to deliver 13 straight points in that third quarter for the Knicks to make the comeback, to tie the game and take control of the game. And then they just put their foot on the pedal and just took it all the way home. Outstanding game for Jalen Brunson. That's why I think this might be one of the most important games of the season tonight, because it revealed to Brunson that he can and he knows how to overcome larger, high-quality defenders that are placed on him, point-of-attack defenders. He did it tonight, and the team helped him as well. They started coming back to at least give him some screens, give him an option, a release valve. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful sight to see. I'm showing this for the first time this season, the standings, because the Knicks are now only 4 wins behind the Boston Celtics, and they are 7 wins behind the Cleveland Cavaliers. Just 7. I predict as the season, we're just crossed maybe the 1/3 line. Yeah, 28. Yeah, we're about 1/3 of the way through the season. We have 2/3 more to go. The Knicks may end up being at the top of the standings by the time this is all said and done. That's just the way it's feeling. It's the way that, I mean, we just look at the quality of players that this team has, and when their offense is cooking, it's unstoppable, completely unstoppable. You can say the same thing about the Celtics. You can't quite say the same thing offensively about the Cavs, though they have been doing it all season. But I need to see them continue to do it. Either way, it's those 3 teams right there. That is the cream of the crop in the Eastern Conference. And I'm going to announce this. And also, you got to think about Milwaukee. Milwaukee's down there 15-12. They won the NBA Cup, so they're somebody to really keep an eye on. I don't think the championship is going to end up in the Western Conference this year. It's going to be one of these teams right here that's going to end up winning the NBA championship by the end of the season. And the Knicks are right in the thick of it. They are in 3rd place, 18-10, a .643 winning percentage, only 6.5 games back from the Cavs, who have started the season on a legendary start. They have been unbelievable. They've only lost 4 games this season. Outstanding. They are on pace to win 70 games or something like that. we'll see. If they can keep it going, shout out to them, kudos to them. But you got to also prove it in the playoffs. But the Knicks are beginning to pull it together to try and take. I would love for us to get that second seed. The second seed would be really beautiful. Now that means trying to remove Boston or Cavs from here. It's gonna be tricky. It would take the Cavs, having like a bad stretch. Maybe they lose 3, 4, 5 games in a row, or they go like 1 out of 5, 1 out of 4. We'll see what happens. But the Knicks cannot stumble anymore. They can't lose 3 games in a row anymore for that to happen. But either way, it only matters what happens in the playoffs. And this team is set up for success. All right, let's keep going. I tweeted this out, or actually blue skied this. Brunson, when Breen asked him in a post-game on-court interview how Knicks were able to respond to the Pelicans' intense defense, a fire got lit. That was his response. A fire got lit. The Brunson burner got lit. That's right. He fucking fucked these guys so badly. It was awesome. 29 points in the second half. It was a beautiful sight to see. Outstanding. In fact, it was so good. Let's get to the highlights. These are just Jalen Brunson highlights for you guys. He sunk a 3 from the right corner. A 3 from above the break. The Knicks were down, though. This is the second quarter. 46-39. Look at that little spin. Oh, yeah. Here they double team, but then they released from it because Towns was the screener. Oh, look at that little scoop shot. That was a key moment in this game. So the Knicks are down 11 right here. Brunson gets into the paint again. These were the 2 ones that I mentioned. This is during that stretch where he scored 13 straight points. Then he hits, boom. Oh, it wasn't in the right corner. It was just above the break for a 3-point shot. So now the Knicks, they were down 6 at the time. And then Brunson hits another 3. Look at him. He is just on a roll. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. This is what I have been waiting for him to do. Just have all the confidence in the world in himself and his ability. Just hunt those threes, especially deep ones. He has become an amazing 3-point shooter with even like 2, 3, 4, even like almost 4 feet beyond the 3-point line. He is so money right now. Boom. He's back at it again. Outstanding performance by Jalen Brunson tonight. The man deserves your all-star votes. Let's all pull out our phones right now. I already voted, so I can't do it. Pull your phone out right now. Go to the NBA app or NBA.com and vote. Please vote for all the Knicks starters. Vote for all of them. Fuck it, because that's what the other teams do. Let's do it ourselves. Let's vote for them all because no doubt Brunson and Cat deserve to be starters this season. No doubt. And we should get a third starter. It'll probably hope if we do get a third starter, it might be OG. Let's hope that it is. Beautiful. It was a tale of 2 halves. And Bridges. I will talk about Mikal Bridges in a minute. All right, let's get back to this here. So, look at this. This is the lead tracker. The Knicks were down for an entire 2 quarters. But this is right over here in the third quarter. You can't see my cursor. When Brunson started cooking and he went through that 13, he scored those 13 straight points, and he basically tied the game. And then the Knicks, they struggled a little bit here, back and forth, and then they took control of the game and never gave the lead back. There were only 2 lead changes in this entire game. Right here, about 3/4 of the way into the first quarter, and about 3/4 of the way into the third quarter was the next lead change, and then it never went back. Beautifully done. The problem was the turnovers. Knicks were coughing the ball up like crazy. They had like 12 turnovers in the first half. The Knicks averaged between 13 and 14 turnovers for an entire game. So they were coughing it up, and they were allowing points off of it. The Knicks had a -8 in points off turnovers conceded. Points conceded off turnovers. So they were -8. That pretty much showed it. The Knicks were down. We were down like 6 at the half, and so once they started protecting the ball, the game changed dramatically. Here you see the Knicks, the rebounding, 42-45. Pelicans won that battle. Not as many assists tonight. 24. It's a low. It's a recent low. The Knicks have been averaging about 28 per game, but as of late, they've had several. I mean, like the majority of games have been 30 assists or more. They even had 39 assists recently. But we got 11 steals. We got 3 blocks. 16 turnovers. We held it. We had 12 turnovers in the first half, so that means we only had 4 turnovers in the second half. And I tweeted out about this at the halftime. If the Knicks can just take care of the ball, they can win this game, and that's exactly what they did, and that's exactly what happened. And they forced the Pelicans to start coughing up the ball because the Pelicans only had about, well, not only 9 turnovers is a lot for one half, but they ended up with another 10 in the second half for 19 turnovers for them. The field goal percentage, the Knicks shot 43.7% overall for the game, as opposed to the Pelicans' 41%. But the three-point line, especially in that third quarter, let's get to that, especially in that third quarter right here. The New York Knicks shot 85.7% from the three-point line in the third quarter. Hit 6 of 7. The one thing to take note here that is really kind of distressing, all 5 starters played all 12 minutes. Now, normally, I would be fuming about this. But because the Knicks have had a lot of days off, a lot of rest time, it doesn't bother me as much. And it was a pivotal quarter. The Knicks had to take control of this game. They were once down by 14. So in this quarter, there was a 28-point swing from down 14 to up 14. Actually, they weren't up 14 by the end of this quarter, but they were about halfway there. And about 3 to 4 minutes into the fourth quarter, they kept extending their lead. They got it up to 14. So that was a 28-point swing in about like a 6-7 minute stretch. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. And Mikal Bridges, the man, he actually is like the perfect player for Thibs. Because the guy never wants to leave the court. He never gets injured. He never misses a game. So he's like the perfect guy for Thibs because he just leaves him out there. He's a brilliant basketball IQ. He has tremendous abilities and technique. He's a fabulous defender, and his mid-range game is just outstanding. But he could hit that 3 tonight. The beautiful game for him. In fact, let's look at the full game stats. 3 of 6 for Mikal Bridges from the 3-point line. He scored 18 points and was a plus 20 in the plus-minus for him. He did commit 3 turnovers. The Knicks committed 16 turnovers total. Brunson was responsible for 4 of those, but I believe all 4 of those came in the first half. We confirmed that. No, 3 of them came in the first half. Okay, there you go. This is what the beauty of the NBA.com stats. I love the way they have this laid out. But I'm going to tell you, man, this 42 rebounds is definitely low. It's definitely low, especially when you consider the Pelicans had 45 rebounds. But at the end of the day, all that matters is the big W, and the Knicks got it tonight. All right, let's get back to this. Here's a little easier to see. Mikal Bridges, 18 points on 3 of 6 in 45 minutes of play. OG Anunoby, 16 points for him. He's still struggling from the 3-point line. I noticed he had some interesting tape on his right elbow. Maybe the elbow's bothering him a little bit, which is kind of alarming to think about because that's what ended his season last year. I'm hoping it's just a mild thing. He can work through it because he has not been shooting well from the 3-point line of late. He has been struggling mightily. Let me see if I can find this. Here it is. Here we go. He has been shooting. It's not going to include tonight. But since the Dallas game, which was the 18th game of the year, in the last 10 games, he's only shooting 23.3% from the 3-point line. That's distressing, guys. That's very distressing. In fact, let me see if I can pull this up for you guys so you can see it yourselves. I'm going to pull this up. Just stay patient for a minute. Sorry. Where'd it go? Oh, well. Not here. But trust me, he's shooting. He's he's averaging 6 3-point attempts per game, but only connecting on 1.4 for a 23.3% field 3-point shooting. And his field goal shooting in the last 10 games, he's only shooting 38.1%. The thing about OG Anunoby is, and one of the reasons I was concerned about bringing him to this team several years ago was because of his durability. Hey, but he's out there, he's playing. Unfortunately, Thibs just, overplays these guys tremendously. In this 10-game stretch, he's averaging 37 minutes a game, which would easily put him up in the top 5 of most minutes played in the NBA for that stretch. It could be he's getting worn down, and it's weird to say that considering also the Knicks have had a lot of time off recently. So I'm hoping that it is the elbow is barking a little bit, and maybe just some additional rest and he can just work through it, because we need OG. He was fantastic defensively, but we need him to make his buckets. He can't shoot 38% from the field and 23% from the three-point line. That's just impossible for us to be able to go all the way. All right, let's hope. Let's hope this is just a minor hiccup right now, and he can work through it. Let's hope. Let's get back to here. Precious Achiuwa was not impressive tonight. I thought actually he did not have a very good game, even though he ended up with 7 rebounds in his 12 minutes of play. I felt like the Pelicans were constantly able to take advantage of whatever he was doing on the defensive end. And offensively, he didn't have the confidence to shoot a 3 when he had it out there. He's still working through. He's still trying to get it back into game conditioning. Let's hope that it just takes him another 2 or 3 games, because we need that Precious Achiuwa that we had last season to reappear right now. Sims had some court time tonight because Karl Anthony Towns, who did not play a great game, and he got into foul trouble early. He picked up 3 fouls right away. He ends up with 5 fouls. So he didn't see much time. Only played 27 minutes for him. Shot 3 of 10 from the field. But he did hit 2 of 5 from the 3-point line. He finished with a double-double. 11 points, 10 rebounds, but he did not make the impact offensively that he normally makes, and it was because of the foul trouble that he got himself into. Josh Hart, 42 minutes for him, 14 points, 6 of 13, hit some big, but the one 3-pointer that he made, he was 1 of 4 from the 3-point line. He sunk that 3-pointer when the shot clock was at 0.8 or something like that. The guy is one of the best shot clock beating shooters in the NBA. I wish that he would just pretend every time he has the ball, the shot clock's about to end, and just lets it fly, because the guy is unbelievable. His percentages in the clutch. Mikal Bridges, I mentioned he was 3 for 6. The bench was not effective with scoring tonight, though they did provide minutes. They did provide relief for the starters. Deuce McBride, they chant his name even on the road. It was only 1 of 6 from the field, but the one bucket he made was, I believe, in the paint. It was a key bucket at that moment when the Knicks were trying to secure the lead, but he missed all 3 of his 3-point attempts. Actually, Brunson hit almost half of all of the Knicks made 3-pointers tonight. He was 7 of 10. The rest of the team was 8 for 27. Wow. Tonight was Brunson night. Brunson Burner came through tonight. The captain delivered us this win, and the defense in that third quarter and carried over into the fourth quarter just stepped up the defensive intensity out on the perimeter, especially with Mikal Bridges fighting over screens. Outstanding. It completely took away any kind of comfort zone that the Pelicans had developed in that first half, and it just swung the momentum in the Knicks' direction. The plus minus tells the story. Brunson plus 25. Excuse me. And Sims, a plus 17 for him, which I'll tell you, in just 13 minutes, that's nice. That's really nice. That's a really sweet number right there. Plus 17 for OG Anunoby, and a plus 12 for Josh Hart, plus 20 for Mikal Bridges, who I believe in the past 10 games has the most cumulative plus minus of anyone in the NBA. I believe that's true. In fact, I'm going to confirm that right now. Why not? Why shouldn't I confirm it? While we're talking here, let's see. Mikal Bridges. Because I've been hard on him. We've all been hard on him. We've wanted him to step up, and he's now finally doing it. Let's see here. All right. In the last 8 games, not including tonight, he's a plus 16.1 in plus minus. So the Knicks are outscoring opponents by 16 points per game while excuse me, he's on the court. That's beautiful. Wow. Awesome. Okay, let's keep going. Herb Jones offensively couldn't really do much. He connected on just 1 3-pointer, 4 rebounds, 4 assists for him. He did end up fouling out because of Jalen Brunson, but he definitely did slow Brunson down in that first half, and it's what allowed the Pelicans to go into the half with the lead. So shout out to him for that. But eventually the Knicks did figure that out. Misi, 9 points for him, 3 of 8. McCollum missed all 4 of his 3-point attempts, finished with 13 points in 32 minutes. I do expect CJ to end up being traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. I believe that's where he's going to end up. That's my little guesstimate. Looking at my notes here. Well, okay, one thing I didn't talk about. Who gives a shit what the Pelicans did? Here are the team stats. All right, let's get back to this. When these Knicks are at their best is when they're cutting. And their cuts they have been able to figure out how to time their cuts so well. Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG, even Towns. It's unbelievable what happens when they cut. And the way that the beautiful thing is, like, Brunson, there are times when Brunson goes down into the paint and Mikal Bridges or Josh Hart will wait a second. Sometimes other teams would cut early, but no, they realize, you know what, you got to give Brunson an extra second or two to see what he can create. If he doesn't, then you start cutting. Their timing of cuts are perfect. And boom, he hits them, and it's a dunk, or it's a nice little 2-footer. Outstanding delivery, passing on the cuts. They're beginning to develop this chemistry between each other. And this is game 28. I cannot wait for like game 56. We can actually see this team just cooking, just completely annihilating, just slicing and dicing teams up with their timely cuts. Fantastic. And it's Josh Hart, it's Mikal Bridges, and OG Anunoby. But credit Cat and Brunson for feeding those guys, looking for them. Beautifully done. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up right now. Thank you so much for watching Into the Knicks-Verse. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button for me, share this video, and drop your comments. Love the comments. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's go!